everyone. I would like to share my experience with fixing a water leak in a red Tassimo that has this, what I call the space design. This is a slideshow with me talking about the pictures that you're seeing. So I have a number of Tassimos already and was really happy to find an inexpensive red one with this space design on Facebook Marketplace, which I got for $15 Canadian. And I took it home and tried it out, worked well. I highly rated the seller and thanked her for the sale. And then on the second or third coffee that we made, it started leaking at the bottom. So that was then not so great. I've previously made a video. It should come up here in a second. Sorry, having trouble. Okay, here we go. So in this video, I showed how to remove the side panels from this kind of older looking type of Tassimo that you see there in the background. Um, it's quite a popular video, and I actually had to watch it again to remind myself of how to um, handle these plastic knobs to push the side panels away. And I did also watch another video that was really informative by a gentleman named Gareth Daly. Here it is, Bosch Tassimo T55 coffee maker. Repair, disassembly and repair is what it's called. I'll provide the link underneath this video. And I did follow Gareth's instructions, and I can make a couple additions to those. Look at the next few photos. So he actually took apart the sides and top, which I also tried to do. So here you see the one side removed, which is the side of the machine that we are not going to look at further after this. So let's get to the next picture. So this is the side of interest. So I guess if you're looking at the machine with the water tank in the back, it's the left side where I did manage to fix the leak. So I'm pointing at these uh, flexible plastic pieces that get locked behind the triangular knob on the side panel. Just as a reminder, I guess you can watch Gareth's video or mine to get more instructions on how to remove these. And so this is what you're looking at from the side. And I want to take this to describe briefly the problem that I noticed because I did run the machine in with an old expired coffee, so putting some pressure on the machine to see where the leak occurred. And so what we do see, initially we see water coming out the bottom. There's some slots in the bottom of the machine. It also accumulates in parts of the bottom of the machine. And what I did see though is that water was flowing down the side behind all of these widgets, and it seemed to be coming from all the way up here somewhere. So this is why I actually found the video, which was about removing the top part of the machine. What you do see here is these additional or these clips that hold the top of the machine together. I had tried to remove the top before and didn't realize even what pieces are together and are coming apart as one piece. So that other video was really helpful. So there's these two hooks on each side, and then I believe we'll see more parts of the attachment. So inside, this is a zoom into the inner area of the machine, near the very top, there's this T-shaped hook or whatever you want to call it, which Gareth in the video describes in detail. He makes a contraption to pull this piece, which is part of the lower, the main machine body, pull it away from the top part of the machine. I actually found a tool that I could use for that. I think it's a tool used to remove nails from wood. Not really sure. It's like a screwdriver, size of a screwdriver, but has a slightly bent uh, two-part end here, and the bend helped to kind of pry this plastic away. I did, however, ruin or break one half of this T shape here in the process on one of the sides. So recommend to be careful, but I was able to put the tool through a hole from the side. You can't see this here right now because this is after, maybe after opening one side. Anyways, what you do also see is one of the two Torx screws that Gareth mentions in the video that come into play in the next step. Because then I thought I needed to go all the way up to the, what is it, like the brew head of the machine, which you'll see in one of the next photos. And the screws are holding that down. So I did not have the Torx 10 screwdriver, and I did follow Gareth's suggestion, and I don't blame him for that. I would have tried it anyways to use a flat head screwdriver, and I did unscrew or loosen one of the two screws, but the other one was attached so hard that I did start ruining the screw itself. And then at the last minute, I looked at one of my other bit sets and actually found a Torx 10 and was able to properly open those screws. That's a bit of a caution to not ruin those screws if you don't have the proper head. So this is a close-up, very not easy to understand what we're looking at, but it's a close-up of part of the brew head, the black part where your pods actually go in and where you're closing. This is the slot that closes off with this silvery handle at the top center of the machine. And I did this because Gareth didn't show a close-up of this area where he describes how these two sides, these two sides, there's these counter hooks for the front of this black area. All of this, however, was not necessary for me to do because I did not get any further with opening up this top area. I don't think he goes into details and that's as well because he's just actually fixing the reader, which is accessible um, at this point already. So that's just like an addition to the other gentleman's video. Now, I was about to give up. Already put back down the black brew head here. And then I look inside the machine. It's pried somewhat open here with my screwdriver just lying in there in the crack. So I look at this um, and I notice this situation here, which looked odd. There's some red stuff sticking out between the it's probably aluminum of the heater and some part at the top of the heater. So I did venture to run the machine in this position, and interestingly enough, water was spraying out from this point, sprayed against the red plastic, and then ran down the side, which is what I had observed. I just hadn't seen where it came from before this. So it came from this area, and I have a couple of close-ups of that. So you see the red stuff, sorry, I don't have an English word for it, sticking out there and not on the other side of this connection. And even closer, it's right here. So you really see that there's something irregular happening. So I'm like, okay, actually, maybe this can be fixed. So uh, when we go back to the side of the machine, I then loosened the wires here from their slots in this plastic frame and pushed out the bottom of the heater, or what I think is the heater, and the top as well. And then I just pull this black item, so would that be like a valve, I guess, or something, and it comes right off. And then when I push it back in, it goes back in straight. And not sure we will see that in the remaining photos. So if you imagine this back in and looking at it from the side, the whole apparatus actually plugs into these places here at the top and the previous photo at the bottom. And then this is actually held down or held together in this space by the plastic. So there is probably pressure developing inside from water heating, water vapor, and it's being held together by the plastic frame. So I put it back in and then plug the thing back into its frame, and kind of wiggled a little bit to hold it straight in position, like here. You notice that there's no more irregular looking stuff sticking out, and it's kind of held together here. It's also straight underneath this springy thing, and yeah, so it looked like it's come off under excessive pressure, maybe, or when the machine was maybe fell or something. I'm not sure. I'm hoping that it'll stay this way and be good for future uses. So I did was able to make a few coffees since then, and including when the machine was still open, to see whether any water was running, and all seemed fine. So I thought that was quite the success, to be honest, because this is like a core element of the machine that I wouldn't normally touch, really. But it seemed like a pretty obvious fix, and did work so far. So good luck if you have any such issues with your Tassimo. I think it's a great machine, great coffee coming out, and was definitely worth the time looking into. All right, see you next time.